Reeta and Glenn on the internet.
Glenn and Reeta on the internet.
Are you ready for some podcast? It's a Monday night party. Yeah. I think it's the first time we've done.
Watching four teams I don't like tonight.
Yeah, I guess that's true now that I think about it. You're right. I have my preferences when it comes to these teams, but I certainly don't like them. I am in agreement on that.
Yes.
All right. We are doing an online version of the show tonight because the Ravens play on Thursday night, so it's gonna be really hard for us to all get together and knock it out in enough time that it'd be worth you watching beforehand. So we had to knock it out early this week, and this is the way we could do it. The good news is, this is very rare. We have something pleasant to talk about. This is not something that we've been able to do much since shifting the show into this format. Since we moved the show into this format, it ain't been nothing but shit. Like, just giant piles of shit.
A dookie.
Oh my God. So it is very nice that the Baltimore Ravens won a football game, and we can
Thank
talk
you.
about it.
Okay, let me tell y'all something real quick. Football, and I tweeted this earlier, like it has such an effect on people's like emotions and mental health because like everybody was really nice today. People were really nice. The mood of the city felt decent. People had their Ravens stuff on because let me tell you, Saturday I went to Weber's Farm, and I'm one of them people. I watch like what people wear on the weekends or during like the sporting season. I only seen like 3 people with Ravens stuff on, man. Nobody was thrilled about the Ravens at all. And then the day I seen like multiple people with Ravens stuff on. So I was like, they're healing the city now.
Tell you, man. Our economy is based on the result of the most recent football game. Like, that is the reality. I'm not kidding, man. Everything you ask, whenever we have a guest on a show, they're always like, "Hey, how you doing?" And the only thing I can say is my answer is directly tied to whatever happened in the most recent Ravens game. It's the reality, man.
Reality.
This is what we're dealing with.
Tiki Torches was out all the way up till kickoff.
Right up until kickoff, 100%. And I would even say
Tiki Torches was out, honey. So they're still out, just not in the same numbers as
yeah, because I think you got 24 hours of, oh my God, we're gonna win the AFC North. Like, it went from the season is over to 5 minutes later, like, holy crap, we're actually gonna win this division.
Hey man, and like Green Bay won handedly on Sunday night. Like at first it was close, but that second half they just was like, we're not playing with y'all no more. We're done playing here. And, yeah. Now we're 2 games behind. Shorty, look at us.
And they control their own destiny in the AFC North at 2 and 5.
What a concept! What a concept coming from like the sky is falling for like 3 weeks. Literally
in a nutshell.
All I see when we're doing this and recording this, like this whole scheme, I'm like, all I'm associating with is just negative. And so today, wholesome.
Yes, it's nice. It's nice. And again, this is the weird part about it. As the Ravens win in Week 8, they beat the Bears 30-16. Nobody walks away from that game and says, "Yep, that's the team that's going to win the Super Bowl." Nobody. Like, it was a good performance. It was a much needed performance. But right now you're recalibrating. And we'll deal with that right now. Right now, to me, this is fine. They had to figure out a way to win a football game. Now they have to figure out a way to look like a more functional team in the coming weeks as Lamar Jackson gets back out on the field. I guess we're to believe that Lamar Jackson is playing on Thursday night after he was again listed as a full participant. This time we mean it.
I think it's for real this time, y'all.
Yeah, this time it's for real. But it wasn't even a real practice today. It was a walkthrough. So like, I know.
It's just practice.
Yeah. And John Harbaugh says he expects Lamar Jackson to play on Thursday. So there's that. But again, I don't know how much we're believing. We'll get to that in a second. The point to me, Reeta, is you needed this win just to salvage the season, just to get back to this isn't the Titanic. We're not careening into an iceberg at the moment. They still have a long way to go. We're jokingly asking if the Super Bowl's back on. Nothing about what you saw on Sunday is going to make you say like that. Nobody can beat that team. I think a lot of people could beat that team, but that's not the point. You have now 10 weeks to go figure out if you can get to the level that we thought you might be at before the season began. And I think we all have doubts about their ability to do that, but there's time. They don't have a lot of room for error in that process. They can't screw up. They can't be we all felt the same thing when they were up by 2 scores in the fourth quarter against the Bears. We all felt that exact oh no type of moment. So good on Nate Wiggins making the play that obviously turned the tide, and is obviously the play of the season at this point. But will they get there? Don't know. But in order to have a chance to get there, you had to stay afloat. So that's all I
Right.
can give them for right now. They stayed afloat with that win.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. And like, yeah, back to the question, like, oh, is the Super Bowl back on? I mean, let's not get ahead of ourselves, right? Like, I think first things first, like, just try to win your division. And, you only have played one divisional game. And luckily you've won that one game, but you've
Mm-hmm.
not gone through your gauntlet of, the rest of your division. So I think that you got to start there. I will say that I've been, even when the Texans, routed the Ravens, and it was bad, right? I mean, like, I feel like that was a super low point for this franchise in terms of, just getting your ass handed to you on a silver platter at home. You know what I'm saying? But I kept saying, there's 2/3 of the season left. There's 2/3 of the season left. I mean, I said it constantly on our post game and on the podcast, right? Like, I understand being emotional about, not only losing, but just getting humiliated the way that the Texans humiliated the Ravens. But also, I think that you have to understand, we as media or fans or whatever, we have to understand, like, look, I mean, yes, Lamar is what makes this go. But also Roquan is what
Mm-hmm.
makes this go, and even Marlon, and even though Marlon's not as dominant as he used to be, you still prefer him out there as opposed to like just somebody else with less experience. Missing those guys. Oh yeah, and by the way, you're not getting Namdi back. You know what I'm saying? So all of that stuff matters in the grand scheme of things. It's not just a Lamar thing. And I think that Sunday showed you that it's not just a Lamar thing. You know what I'm saying? And I say that because, like, Tyler Huntley comes in, and obviously he runs the offense really well because they have similar skill set, he and Lamar. But you get back a Roquan Smith, you get Marlon Humphrey back. You're allowing now, your linebacking core to be more solid than it was prior to, when they weren't playing. And, now Kyle Hamilton can do the things that he's used to doing. And so you want those guys back just as much as you want Lamar, because all of those guys at the same time, they're all intricate parts of what this team is overall. And I know we just harp on one guy on offense, but there's enough skilled players on offense for this team to roll. And I think that we saw that on Sunday. As long as the person that's in command knows how to run it, you can put points on the board. You know
Yep.
what I'm saying? And so you feel confident about, like, I'm not confident, but you feel better about what happens now moving forward with Lamar if you have a Huntley that can at least do some of the similar things that he does with his legs and such, as opposed to, Cooper Rush, who, I mean, people want to sit here and argue about the sign. Y'all, this is hindsight. It's hindsight. We sit here and want to critique it now, but the truth of the matter is the guy was fine in Dallas. But also the truth of the matter is he had a much better offensive line than the Ravens were willing to give him. So both things can be true. But it was just good to see them come out, use the skill players that they have on offense, get Roquan, get Marlon back, and come out with a win and scoring, the way that they were against, even though the Bears didn't have a lot of their secondary playing, they still have a good front. And you still had to, respect that. So it was just good to see. I know I was all over the place. I know. I'm sorry. But it was just like, I just wanted to make the point that it was just good to see what this
They
team did.
look functional. They
Yes.
look like a
Yes.
functional football team, and a football
Yes.
team that if it's building from there, right? And
Yes.
that's if you're getting Lamar Jackson back, and that's a huge step. And if you worked on some things self-scouting wise during the course of the bye, defensively, and if this was Mike Green's first moment where he's starting to figure it out, you can start
Or
to
just being
believe.
utilized better
Sure,
too.
sure. You could start to believe that there is a direction that this group can go into to
1000%.
get back to that. If there are pieces that are maybe still to come at the trade deadline, you can start to sell yourself on that. Can I say that with certainty? Absolutely not. Like, I don't feel strongly about their chances of being the AFC, champion in the end. But there's time. And this is why, for as much everybody gets mad at us about this, when everybody's screaming about firing the coach 2 weeks ago, it's why NFL teams don't just do this for fun. They don't just do it for sport. And we will have that. I'll say the same thing even after they win that I've said after they lost. We will have time to have that conversation, depending on how things go. And I don't know what the Ravens are going to do, but if things go south, I'll happily join you with the argument that they should. But it's wasted breath suggesting that a team 6 weeks into the season that still has things to play for. Again, they're not the Tennessee Titans. The Tennessee Titans season was done. It was over.
And they're not a
They
good
had
organization. That's another thing. Like we keep
correct.
forgetting that part too, Glenn.
Yep.
They're not well run. That part we have to understand. They got it, and this is me being ageist a little bit. They got an old lady over there being the owner, don't know what she's doing, not
What
wanting
she
to
should
trade
be doing,
nobody,
Rita? What she should be doing?
down at the beach with her tatas all the way down as long as North Avenue out, okay, on the new beach. Instead, she wants to be an owner, okay? She wants to be an NFL owner instead of her tatas being open and free at her big age, and she's not doing a good job at it. Look at what Mike Vrabel is doing in New England, probably a mistake. You know what I'm saying? So that's another
Yep.
thing. Don't sit here and use bad organizations as examples of what good organizations should be doing. Okay,
Right.
that just
And
wasn't
it doesn't obviously it doesn't mean the Ravens don't make mistakes. We all know that. The Ravens make
correct.
mistakes. That is
Yes,
clear. But yes, they
yes,
are this was not the thing to do right now. Not right now. Hopefully for the Ravens' sake, hopefully for Zach Orr's sake, this was a sign that look, I thought the right thing to do was to fire Zach Orr. The defense obviously looked a lot better. Hopefully, again, we'll look back in 4 weeks and we'll say, boy, how silly was it that I wanted them to fire Zach Orr? Hopefully that's the case. That remains to be determined. We'll see. We will see. But right now, all we know is they're alive. They're not dead yet.
not dead
And
yet.
and the AFC North is cheeks.
And look,
Chuck.
I
Cheeks.
just want to say too, like Miami beat the Falcons, who continues to be the biggest enigma to me. The Falcons are,
Mhm.
and so look, I wanted that to happen, right? I didn't want Miami to feel desperate going into that game, so now they feel a little bit
Oh,
better
you
about.
get out of the way. All right.
Felt a little bit good about themselves. Oh yeah, well
Mhm.
we still can score points around here with one eye tour. Well, good for them. You know what I'm saying? So, I'm glad that they made that happen because now maybe their guard is a little
All right.
thin because they
I'll
feeling good
I'll
themselves.
I'll listen to that. By the way, losing at home to the Jets is nasty business.
Well, I mean,
That
didn't
is
Hendrickson went out as well, didn't he?
Yeah, Trey
In that
Hendrickson got
game?
hurt again in that
You already
game.
don't have defense, and then you lose your best pass rusher.
Yep, yep. Nasty,
I
nasty
mean,
work.
yeah.
Oh, but here we were 10 days ago starting to think like maybe the Bengals could be a factor again, and
But that's
then
the beauty of the NFL, right?
yep,
Like we literally this is not the beautiful part. Like the Chiefs right now look like the Chiefs of old, but
yep.
we dug a hole on them literally
Mhm.
just a month ago and said, "Oh, put the dirt on them. It's over." You know what I mean? It's not over. So just like anybody else, the Ravens have an opportunity here to turn some things around. It's that's the beauty of it all. So it'll be fun.
Caleb is having so much fun with a ticker right now. I'm starting to
Yes, I
I
love
thought
that
this
for him.
I didn't
I'm
like how
start
big the last one was. FanDuel got huge. I'm like, no, I don't like FanDuel that much. I actually
yeah,
don't like
they
them
ain't
at
paying, they
all.
ain't paying us a damn thing.
And
They're
also,
not
No,
giving us
FanDuel don't sponsor nothing over here, Shorty.
yeah,
Put that
right.
down.
no,
All right.
I just like these odds. I'm not whipping them out of my ass. I'm not running an algorithm over here to tell people this.
Right. Yeah,
I'm
these are
taking them.
Caleb's odds. Caleb has just decided what the odds are moving forward.
However, FanDuel, if you're interested. Give us a
Yes.
call.
Oh, we are available.
Look,
No
I don't
doubt
have a
about
better moral compass than these corporations. FanDuel, we
it.
gotta
Yeah.
reach.
And they showing
100%.
chat. They showing feet in the chat. So, go ahead and
Um,
sign them up.
is there anything? Do we now just dismiss all of the hullabaloo from last week? Do we all? Does one win make all of the Todd Monken stuff, all of the ping pong stuff? Does one win make us say that was all? I mean, we were pretty dismissive of the ping pong stuff to begin with, but like the Todd Monken, the anonymous comments, do we just say, that there's nothing to see here? What do we make of that coming off the heels of the Ravens winning a game?
I'm confused too about Todd Monken because I thought he called a really good game yesterday. And I'm gonna be that person. I have to wonder, is this all Todd Monken or is somebody checking out of place?
Hmm.
I just don't know because why was that game so perfectly called
Hmm.
yesterday?
Hmm.
I don't know, guys.
They still had some red zone issues, but
Of
yeah.
course, I'm talking overall. I'd give that an A minus B plus play calling for me. This is my personal opinion.
Hmm.
I mean, moving the line, all of that stuff. Like, I'm just asking the questions that need to be asked. No, it doesn't necessarily like push all of that aside because if players feel some type of way and they're talking to the media about it, then I think that there's something there. But I also wonder how much accountability are we putting on Todd Monken in that regard, or is it somebody else? I'm not his number. I'm sick of you,
I,
Caleb.
I, I, the, the,
Caleb,
the,
please.
the
Enough.
ticker is now my favorite thing in the world.
Oh my
Like,
God.
the ticker.
I am not riding for Todd Monken. I have been extremely critical of Todd Monken. I hate the fact that he takes Derrick Henry out of certain situations. I hate certain play calls. I hate jet sweeps. I hate it. Okay. Like I do. I'm just making a point. Like sometimes I'm just wondering if he's not the only person we should be looking at in that regard because I thought that he did really well yesterday. And I don't know if y'all seen the video of like him, our friend Trippy, he's
Yeah,
always out there.
we
He
were
was
gonna
fired up
we
yesterday.
were gonna save that for Twitter, but we can get to
Okay,
it if
but
you want,
well,
Caleb.
Yeah,
we'll
we'll
let
do
you.
it right now.
No,
I'm their muscle.
Take a motherfucking flag. Fuck them motherfuckers. Let's go.
Yes, I believe in you. Yeah, I gave you a chance. I believe in you. I believe in you.
Okay, the
what did he
best
say?
part.
And what did he say, y'all? What did he say? I'm
He
just saying.
said, "Fuck them motherfuckers."
Let's
Trippy is he cracks me up, dude. That jacket, one, fire. Two,
yes.
in the back, guy's like, I gave you that chain, bro. I remember. I believe in you. Like,
I mean, he is like Monken is fired up, so he's tired of it too, right? Like, but with the injury report situation, let me say this: I don't feel a way about it, but I am holding my judgment about it, depending on what comes out in this investigation and what the penalty is. I think that
Yeah,
I think that they're just trying to get an advantage here by saying one thing and then putting another player out there, and they thought it was harmless. But because of everything that's going on in the sports world with gambling, like this literally was the wrong week to try to play that game.
Can I tell you that this is a real like? So I'll give you an example, Rita. I was on the afternoon show on WBAL today, and of course, every time I'm on WBAL, I now have to remember I'm on the flagship home of the Baltimore Ravens, so I have to be a little more guarded. And you know me, I'm not one that flies off the handle to begin with. Like it's not my shtick. But like I do have to be a bit more guarded in the things that I say. And so the afternoon show host there, Angelette, she asked me about this topic. And I'm going to present it honestly. I honestly think that the Ravens, they knew what they were doing. I, the more I have thought about it, the more I do think it is possible that they thought they could get away with it,
One
right?
thousand
That they genuinely, what they didn't know was that there was a rule that was in place that said, if you run with the scout team, you have to be listed as, because that is, none of us, we all have to be fair. None of
We
us
didn't
knew
know
it.
that. Yeah, and
Now,
like
I
stop
get
acting
it.
like you knew. Stop acting
Yeah.
like you knew. You
I
didn't.
get, you can say John Harbaugh should know that, the team should, like, we can have that conversation, but not one of us knew that that was a rule that existed. The other thing is a lot of us are doing the most when it comes to this. And I look, I've been very friendly with Mike Florio for a long time. He's been a regular on my show over the years. I get along with Mike Florio. He's quoted me in books that he's written. Like I like him.
With
But
your bragging ass, get out of
no,
here.
no, I'm trying to say like there is a line between we
He's quoted me in books.
this
Get out of here,
this
man.
dick, this dick. Um No, what I'm saying is I can say this without saying like if you're going to Mike Florio is an idiot. I don't think Mike Florio is an idiot. I think Mike Florio is doing the most. I think there's a lot of people that are trying to make the NBA scandal from last week into a Ravens or an NFL story. And as much as I understand the premise, the reality is there's not a damn thing there.
I agree with that.
There is
It's not
nothing
exclusive.
that connects those two things in any way, no matter how hard you try to make it a thing. The NFL cannot decide what they're going to do about the Ravens because Terry Rozier was tanking basketball games.
I
That's
agree.
it's actually insane to suggest as such. And the Ravens would have to fight that. The argument that Florio made is the NFL needs to come out and do something sweeping here in order to set the tone. Well, that's something you have to agree to. You have to bargain that. You have to get together and say, hey, moving forward, we've changed the policy. You screw up in this department, it's going to cost you a draft pick. But there's no precedent for doing that. I do think the Ravens are going to get fined for
I do too.
this. I
I
think that's
agree.
going to happen. But I think anything beyond that right now is absurd. I don't think the Ravens were being honest and forthcoming. I think they knew on Friday that Lamar Jackson wasn't playing. But I do think that they believe that they could say, well, he did practice. He was on the practice field and he did fully
He
participate.
practiced the whole time, right? So it is technically a full
Right.
participation.
And that they either knew and thought that we weren't going to know, or, and I think they'll pay a penalty for that. But I think that the idea of it being a draft pick is absurd at the moment. Now, to be fair, the NFL did come down heavy handed on the Patriots with an unprecedented, it's not like they haven't given out unprecedented penalties before. We'll see, but I'd still be surprised if it rose to a draft pick. I, I don't care. I don't.
That's
I
why I
thought
said
Kate,
it really depends for me. Like, I mean, like, if they are like trying to make the Ravens an example and they go hard
Mhm.
on them, like now now I feel away. But
Yeah. Oh,
I
yeah.
don't feel away currently. I just think
Right.
that they try to get over. They tried something for their advantage, their own personal team advantage, and it just happened at the wrong time.
The only thing that I would be concerned about is if there was some sort of disconnect between the Ravens and Lamar Jackson. If there was some sort of communication breakdown where the Ravens really did believe that Lamar was going to play, like if we've learned something like that, that would be concerning. But it
Yes, I
seems
agree.
more like the Ravens kind of knew all along that Lamar. It seems more like the report from Ian Rappaport, no, from Jeff Darlington. No, who is the Jeremy Fowler was the ESPN reporter last week that said on Tuesday it looks more like Lamar is going to play next Thursday night in Miami.
And
It
can we
looks.
talk about that for a second? Like, there was a
Mhm.
lot of people that was online, asking. I don't think that, like, if Lamar's going to play Thursday, then I don't understand why he's not playing Sunday because he gets extra rest. I don't understand. Do you not understand math?
Well, yeah, there's that, and if he really
I'm
felt like
saying
he needed another week to ramp back
if,
up too, then
why a guy coming off of a hamstring injury, you want him to play 4 days later after coming back from an injury? Make that make sense to me.
I mean, if he can do it, I want him to do it. But I get it. Like
A
I
hamstring
understand. Like,
injury, a
yeah, I
hamstring that's going
understand.
to probably nag
I
him for the rest of the season. Make that make
that
sense to me,
that
guys.
is most likely. That
I
is
just
most likely.
like we have to use our thinking caps here sometimes. Like, and then let's not keep talking about what the practice. He doesn't need. He knows the system from inside and out at this point.
Mhm.
Todd Monken's been here a couple years now. Okay, he's probably
To,
a guy
to
that
be
doesn't
fair,
need practice.
Rita, he might not know how to work with Keaton Mitchell because they haven't done that a lot.
Handing the
Yeah,
ball off to
might
34
might
might be a
not
little
know.
different. It's
He
true.
might look at that and say, you are, and what do you do here?
Got you in here, buddy. Good Lord.
You're fast as hell. We should maybe use you
Exactly.
more frequently.
Crazy.
All right. So are we good? Are we? Can we move on from the Ravens? Anything
Move
else we need
on.
to say?
Moving on.
Go win in Miami on Thursday. Let's keep
The
this
whole
train
city gonna be
rolling.
there, so you better do it. Don't embarrass. Don't
True.
embarrass the people down there.
That's true. Everybody making that trip. All right. Well, on top of the Ravens, there's other big news as the Orioles have a manager. They've got one, ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen, we got him. whoever the hell that guy
I was
is,
going to say, who's him? Explain.
whoever this Carlos Alcaraz is the new manager of the Baltimore Orioles. This is another, by the way, I did like 3 radio hits today, and I swear to God, I had to go to my phone and look up the guy's name each time before I did the radio hit to make sure I remembered Craig Albernez's name so that I didn't sound like an idiot when I was on in Kansas City and they were like, so tell us about the new manager. And I was like, yeah, old Jim Abernathy, that guy.
Like you tell me, and he your division. Yeah, tell me. You might know more about him than I.
Oh, God.
I asked our good friend Steve Johnson, who in our football league, I made a nice little trade with. Thanks, Steve.
How'd that work out? I don't remember what the trade was.
He got Dak. I can't remember who I got. Who did I get, babe? Nico. We got Nico. I got Nico Collins.
All right.
So
well, he didn't play this week, but I get it. By the way, Steve needed. I hope he's got your number now because Steve might have texted me 15 times. Tell Reeta to respond to my trade.
So he's DMing me on Instagram, and I'm like, and he's like, "Do you see my trade?" I'm like, "Oh, I'm not paying it no mind." So you know, but Steve and I was talking. I'm like, I asked him last night, like, or today. I said, like, you know, what's the take? What's your thoughts on this? You know, I don't know this dude. So he's like, no, I think, you know, I've played against him before. He's like, I think he's a good man, a good coach. You know, he's like, you know, good managers obviously got to start somewhere and come somewhere. But he's been in 2 really good organizations. So I gather it is as I know him probably more as a player than I did as a coach. But I think that based on his who the people that he's been with, that it's a good hire, right? Because he's probably been trained up really well. So I mean, you know, look, I don't know much about I mean, literally, they said it. Jeff Passan's tweet came out, and I was like, I have no idea who this man is. Like, I had to Google
swear to
who he
God.
was.
Rita, every time somebody was asking me to do a radio hit today, all I wanted to say back was, I have nothing to say.
I mean, that's what I would have said. I don't like. I understand I'm a sports person, but I mean, literally, this man's name came out of like we didn't get any time to prepare, no time to like check this man out because we didn't even know that he was a candidate for this position to begin with, right? So nobody has done their research. It's not my fault that the Orioles decided to just pick a dude out of left field to say, hey, I want you to be the manager of the Baltimore Orioles. I kept hearing Albert Pujols and some other people. Mm-hmm. So, you know, it's interesting.
Caleb's fired up about him. Caleb, before you jumped on the call, Caleb was
I know he's the fun guy.
Which one is him on the right?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, he's
so
the one
you like
throwing.
Does he throw stuff at people?
Yeah,
look at him and say, hey, yo, what's good, man? He said,
apparently,
I'm gonna take you out right here. I'm gonna take you out right here. His face is just screaming. I couldn't care less if you take me out in this dugout, man. This is funny.
Apparently, he and Stephen Vogt were like legit besties. Like that's not like them working together in Cleveland. Like they've been besties for forever, apparently. So it was like really cool for them. Here are my thoughts in order. Number one, yeah, obviously, I wanted an experienced manager. I wanted a big stick type. Everybody knows that. And so this does not qualify for me in that way. Does that mean that it won't work out? Not at all. Not at all. To the point that you just brought up, Rita, and that Steve. Yes, every good manager had to start somewhere. Earl Weaver wasn't Earl Weaver on day one. Like, I understand that's the way that it works. I thought uniquely this job in the moment required a little bit more of that. To the point, one of the people I talked to today asked and said, what's the leash for this guy? And that is kind of the awkward part, right? Because like you fired the last guy in May. And if you get off to a similar start, like the reality is the Orioles are supposed to be winning right now. There's no time for you to learn on the job. There's no time for you to figure it out on the fly. Like you've got to be ready to go on day one for a team that is supposed to be winning right now. So there's a lot of pressure that to me is unique about that in terms of hiring a first-time manager. I reached out to, I do know I have one Guardians source, someone who works in the Guardians organization, who told me a couple of things, told me to expect that he will help the catchers. Like that's uniquely something He made Bo Naylor a much better defensive catcher. And obviously, the Orioles have a catcher problem right now. Theirs is broken badly. Now, Bo Naylor didn't become a better offensive catcher, but he did become a much better defensive catcher with Craig Albertaz. Adley's had problems in both departments. He hasn't been a good offensive player. He hasn't been a good defensive player. Hopefully, maybe you fix him defensively, and that builds his confidence back up, and that leads to him getting back to where he needs to be offensively. I was told to expect that he would be more proactive in pulling pitchers with 2 outs in an inning. That this is sort of a trademark of Craig Albertaz, that apparently he was really very involved in that decision-making process for the Guardians, that he is big on pull him with 2 outs, get the guy in there to get 1 out, get you out of the inning, and then reset. Obviously, you can change pitchers. You don't have to go with the 3-batter minimum if the inning ends. So that's one of the things that he's been very involved with. He's also someone that's very frank. In fact, I was told to a fault that he will be maybe too honest at times and say things that he shouldn't be saying publicly. So we'll see how that plays. All I care about is, can he get this core group of players back to where they need to be? Because the Orioles aren't going to succeed without this core group of players, without a much better version of Adley Rutschman, without a better version of Gunnar Henderson, without a better version of Jackson Holliday, without a dramatically better version of Colton Cowser, without either Kobe Mayo or Heston Kjerstad being a real legitimate major league power bat. I guess Ryan Mountcastle's still technically on the team. Maybe it could be him. Although I don't think he's going to be on the team come opening day. I think they're going to try to move him this offseason. But like, they've got it. They have to fix. This guy has to fix that. Has to somehow. And you can say it might be a personnel problem, that the Orioles might just have the wrong guys, and it might be a Mike Elias problem. We might learn that. But in the meantime, that's who they've got.
Yep.
And this manager has to fix that. So that's all I can say about Escape from Albertaz. There he is. He's got a thick Boston accent. I don't like that part.
Eyes on his face.
Look, when I went looking for this guy, right? Like, I had to start looking around for this guy. This was like a popular image when you search his name, which means like
really,
that means like
everybody found like the same 3 things on the internet about this guy. Everybody
I found this, and that he rocks the number 0, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, I don't think I noticed that. Okay,
I kind of like that.
okay.
And if like you make a meme, if you make a meme about a guy, he's got to be decent. He's got to be, people were upset that he was leaving.
I don't know.
Like, he wasn't just like
Didn't we do the same
another
stuff
guy.
with, like, didn't we make stuff like this with Ryan Flaherty once upon a time in Baltimore? Don't some guys just kind of become like beloved even if they don't really deserve it? Like, it just clicks for some reason. There's a guy. I mean, he deserved every ounce of love on Sunday, though. He deserved it this week.
Yes, he
Yes,
did.
he
He
did.
deserved every ounce of love
deserved it.
on Sunday. My that's sort of my takeaway, and the secrecy of it, to read it to the point that we didn't hear anything about it. That's a Mike Elias trademark. Like, he does not want you to know what he's doing. Is that a good thing? I don't know. I don't know. I don't really. If you're good at keeping secrets but bad at winning baseball games, then they don't give you a parade for keeping secrets.
Exactly.
We don't get to hang a banner that says,
Exactly.
2025. Nobody knew who the manager was going to be until he was hired. Like, we don't get anything for that. So I kind of don't care that he's good at keeping secrets. I need him to be better at, baseball and winning and those sorts of things. All right. You want to do Twitter?
Yeah, let's go.
Let's do it.
Twitter time. I'm going to share my first thing before we get into a lot of the video stuff, because we've gotten away from just reading tweets. Just like permission to speak off the record.
It's a weird, she does look like a reporter. So this has been a weird thing. So this is Carly Ursay Gordon, who is the point person now, the daughter of Jim Ursay, as his daughters took over the Indianapolis Colts. And she's been on the sideline for like every game. Like, she was part of the team. It's not like we haven't seen owners on the sideline before. I don't think we've seen them on the sideline for every game. I don't know. They're winning. This is the eternal. Right now, who gives a rat's ass what she's doing?
Nope,
They're winning.
They look great on the field, and she's down there taking notes and whatever, dude.
Yeah,
it's working.
Exactly right. Until they start losing games, they should want her there. Like, it's
I was
working.
gonna say,
Stay
at this
here,
point,
lady.
she's probably a good luck charm. Like at the end of the
Uh,
day, right? Like she's went like, and they're using her on their social media. You know what I'm saying? Like,
there have been people that have argued that the Colts, like, we will always have a complicated feeling about the Ursays. We will, period. And
yeah,
even Jim Irsay is a complicated human being. But
he ain't here
yeah,
no more.
was. Thank you. But he was a beloved figure in Indianapolis, and the players genuinely seem to like him. And there is this thought that perhaps some of what we're seeing is this has been a rallying point for them, that they've embraced the daughters, they've embraced the family, that they really did love Jim Irsay. I have no idea. I still doubt them. Like, they're going to be 16-1, and I'm going to go into the playoffs and say there ain't no chance. There is no chance that they are going to the Super Bowl. But it's
I
working
mean,
now.
they're good though.
Yeah, they're good. So if
They're
I'm
good.
her, I'm
Jonathan
staying on
Taylor's
the sideline.
having a season that we would normally talk about, like if Henry or Saquon was having it,
Yep.
but because it's Jonathan Taylor, we're just
Nope.
like, oh, Jonathan Taylor.
No, he's been unbelievable, man. There's no
Yes.
doubt about it. What else did you have, Caleb?
I want to know if Rita has changed course on our friend Lane.
Talking a little bit to
This is
Oklahoma's players.
This guy yelled at me like during the game like 5 times how great they were and we can't score on them.
But your quarterback Trinidad Chambliss did. What kind of statement did he make with how he played against this
I
defense that
love
was
this
much
kind of
higher?
petty. Like, I love this. I love the games.
I don't like Lane Kiffin. I just don't. It's just what it
I
is.
understand that you don't like
Like,
Lane
he
Kiffin.
be
I
having
don't
his
think I do
moments.
either.
Don't get me wrong. He be having moments. Like, just because I don't like him don't mean I don't be laughing.
Yo, it's still that he can't let it go. That he can't just be the bigger man and say we won.
He will never. He's
he
50
can't-
years old, I think. He will never
He
be
can't
the
do
bigger
it.
man. He can't.
It fuels
do
him.
it.
I don't think you guys know how powerful spite is. It's a hell of a
100%.
drug, man. So if he
Yes.
has any choice to just like, I mean, look at him. He's fueled by adrenaline, yoga, and spite.
That's what he's got.
Ah,
That's what he. I don't remember the young
that's his
man's name
makeup,
from
huh?
Oklahoma, but I love that. I love that there is no let up. Like, there is no, hey man, we had fun. Like, nah, dude,
That's why
I
I
ain't
feel
shaking.
people like him because they feel like he like channels his inner Steve Spurrier. But I feel like Steve Spurrier didn't like Steve Spurrier also, in my opinion, didn't like just roll out on like the ball like on a team. Like, he left the balls high and dry, and then he didn't have people like Al Davis talking bad about him. All of these types of things. I just don't think Lane Kiffin's probably a good person, but he's just a great football coach. But he's more than likely way better than Brian Kelly to be around for sure.
Oh,
So
Jesus
there's that.
Christ! There's no doubt about that. God, how quickly did Brian Kelly actually want out of LSU? By the way, like, how quickly did he realize, like, oh, this ain't it for me, dog? Like, this is.
I think his turning point was that last year when he was like, who the f you talking to one of the players?
Yeah. Dude,
At that moment, he realized that. I mean, it was never the place for him. Okay, it was never gonna be his place. But
Nope.
I mean, at least Lane looks likable. Just because I don't like him don't mean other people don't. At least Lane looks likable to the team, to his players. Like, they appear to like him.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
I think
I never got that from Brian Kelly. Like, those kids actually liked him.
I think his edge, his snark plays with a lot of people. I think there are a lot of people that connect with his. I don't know how good of a coach Lane Kiffin really is. Like, I really don't. But right now, I don't know. Like, the point with Florida, I don't know what the other options are. Like, I don't think there's a better option right now than Lane Kiffin that's definite. Like, if you're talking about your options are Lane Kiffin or James Franklin, like, yo, I mean.
I'm not picking. Yeah, James Franklin couldn't even beat anybody, beat big teams in the Big Ten. What I think he's supposed to do in the SEC. You know what I'm saying?
That's where I'm at.
Get my feelings up, get my hopes up, just to be let down.
We brought up the NBA thing. That was last Thursday that story broke. And so, of course, the first football game that would happen afterwards would have Al Michaels on the call. And as we all know, Al Michaels, since I'm pretty sure when he was calling the Miracle on Ice, he was trying to find ways to drop in references to what the total was in that game. Like, Al Michaels has been talking about betting. He and Brent Musburger have been talking about betting on broadcast. Brent Musburger would cut. Oh my God, Brent Musburger always knew exactly
Oh,
what.
but didn't Brent Musburger isn't he on a betting network or
No,
something?
yeah, he owns a betting network.
Right.
He
Okay.
owns VSiN.
I feel like he left. Like
Yeah,
that's what he does
he did.
now.
But for years, when Brent Musburger was just calling football games on ESPN, he was always in the fourth quarter. He would always be like, "This is an important possession for some." Like he would always be that guy. Back in the day when you weren't supposed to talk about betting, these guys just didn't care. Like they were gonna talk about it somehow, some way. And so in the second half of the Chargers-Vikings game on Thursday night that Al Michaels was calling, the game was, of course, out of hand. And given the events of the day, I'm going to guess the NFL probably did not want Al Michaels to be talking about betting. I'm just going to guess that was the case. But Al Michaels on Amazon
Prime. You think it is over, but it's not quite over. You know what I mean? Well, why not? You know, I'll be punished again. Yeah. What can I tell you?
Yeah, I believe
it's close to being over, but it's
really interesting.
I don't want to call it over with 3 minutes to go, right?
Never.
Yeah, I believe the number.
It's really interesting.
The total. I want to say the total. I think the total was 46 or something like that. And so it's sitting at 34-10, and that's what he kept saying. Oh, this one's not over.
Without saying it without saying it.
But there was an update to that as he continued on that broadcast.
You have a 45-yard attempt, which will draw a little interest. For Cameron Dicker. Scott to hold. And there it is. Now you can say it is over.
Now it is. Obviously, if it was a 24-point game,
to 10.
It wasn't over, but now it's a 27-point. That's what he meant. Is now it's a 4-possession game and not a 3-possession game. So now the game's over. It definitely had nothing to do with.
The 3 possessions was definitely putting you in a position where you could come back and win that game, but not 4.
Everybody's been talking about how Al Michaels has lost his fastball, and he has. Like, let's be fair.
Well, Al Michaels is 80 years old, ain't he?
He should definitely be hanging out naked in a gym right now. He should
walls to the wall. I mean, seriously, like, why are we here? You need to be in your tidy whities. You need to be in the sauna with your tidy whities.
Yep.
Not doing Thursday night football. Leave us alone. And we love you, Al.
But he was on it. He was on it on Thursday night. He also, I don't know if you caught this. I forgot to give it to Caleb. He brought up the thing, Will Reichard's the kicker from the Vikings, and he was talking about it as Will Reichard was set to kick in the first half. He said, Will Reichard has only missed one kick all season, and that was the one that hit the camera wire in London, right?
Yes.
And then apparently the NFL sent him a message during the game and said, no, it didn't hit the camera wire. That was an optical illusion.
What?
Yeah. So he had to go. We all saw it. We had to go back. He had to go back on the air.
Fake news him?
This is a straight bit. He had to go back on the air and he had to say, I was informed by the NFL that I can't say it hit the camera wire. That was an optical illusion.
Basically said we didn't see what we saw.
Dude, the wildest shit ever, man. Hang on, I gotta make sure I have this quote. It was exactly what he said. Optical. Oh yeah. Early in the game, Al Michaels mentioned that Vikings kicker Will Reichard's only missed field goal this year was the one that hit a camera wire in London. He now says the league told him to correct himself, that it was an optical illusion.
Like, come on. All right, y'all. Just make it
dog. Sure. And then this was from Fox's studio show. I have no idea. This is wild enough to me. I think there's a chance this wasn't scripted. I think this was just, speaking of guys that should be sitting naked in a sauna somewhere, this was old ass Terry Bradshaw just being old. Here's Terry Bradshaw offering some insight about the Kansas City Chiefs.
What I would worry about more so in Washington is the other day I text Andy Reid and I got a text back. And I thought it was Andy Reid, but it was some guy selling pigs. But it sounded good. I should have told y'all that, so y'all would have thought I actually talked to Andy Reid, but I didn't really talk to Andy Reid.
I wish you could see the people behind the cameras because they're like.
The point.
Please, Michael Strahan's face. He is so annoyed. Like, what? Why would you even tell us the story? Why? Why would you tell us the story? He
Sounds
like,
like another
so
white guy I know.
what did this story have to do with anything, bro?
Of
You
anything. Of anything.
Michael Strahan is me because I just really would have been like,
Is this for real? Are we really doing this, Terry?
like really, bro?
Old
Okay.
man. This old man.
Oh my God. He is an
There you
old,
go.
old,
Terry
old
Bradshaw.
man.
Guy talked to Andy Reid, but it
Another
turns
one
out
that needs to be on the beach with his balls to the
100%.
wall.
Just
Okay, please leave us
you
alone.
and your balls. All right, there we go. That's what I got for As Seen on Twitter this week. Short, quick, to the point. Rita, you're headed out of town, right?
No, I was heading out of town, but I'm not
Oh.
now. So guess what?
Now she's back. She never left.
I will be out of town though. I'm going to Minnesota the next week for the Ravens game. But this weekend my plans got canceled. I'm not even mad, guys. That's how you know you're getting old. Where it's like, oh wow, you're supposed to go out of town. Oh, now my plans canceled because somebody canceled on me, and I was like, oh wow, I get to save money because I gotta go away.
Kind of a relief. Kind of a relief.
I feel relieved, guys. I get to stay home.
Hang out with Rita and I after the game Thursday night, pressboxonline.com/gameday. Anybody have anything else they want to plug?
Nothing for me, dog.
Baltimore beat again. I'm on there. So
and
hopefully, please check my Twitter or my Instagram. I will be on WMAR Channel 2 sometime this week. We're trying to figure out what day. So hopefully we'll be talking Ravens and Dolphins.
Excellent. Sick. I love that. At Ray_the_ at the NFL Chick and Gridiron Gals, at Glenn Clark Radio for me. We will see you next week. This has been Reeta and Glenn on the internet.